Now, a lot of times your problem or your web assign is going to say, hey, express your answer in standard form. That means a real number part plus or minus a real number times I. Is that in the form a real number, in this case minus a real number times I? It's not. It's in a fraction form. So I want to express this in standard form, which means I got to break it down into its two aspects. First aspect is going to be what? 6 over 13 minus 9 over 13. That, ladies and gentlemen, is standard form. So that's what they will expect of you when they ask you to express something in standard form. Real number, plus or minus, real number times I. Is that okay? Let's go ahead and look at complex numbers. All right. Hey, check this out. The numbers a plus bi and a minus bi are called conjugates or conjugate pairs. And get this implication. Their product is a real number. You don't need to say square plus b squared, but the product is a real number. Don't get like an adrenaline rush when you see that green check. All right, find real numbers a and b such that the equation is true. Let's take it and see what this is talking about. A plus bi, 13 plus 3. So, can you tell what A is?
13.
Yeah, that wasn't too challenging. Can you tell what B is?
3.
You bet. The next one's going to be a little bit more challenging. All right, check this out. Find real numbers A and B such that the equation is true. Here we go. A plus A. This is kind of sneaky, but here's what they're saying. This is the equation here. These two numbers are the same. They're identical. Not in what they look like, but in value. So that means the real number parts are the same. Here's the real number part here. Here's the real number part here. They're the same. So I'm going to set those to each other and see what I get. A plus A equals A. Minus A must be 0. See what we did? The real number parts are the same, so set them equal and solve for the unknown part, in this case A, missing period. That also means that the parts in front of I are the same. So 4B is the same as -5. See what I did? Numbers in front of I are the same. So set them equal and solve. What are you going to do to solve? Divide 4. So B is negative 5/4. That's a little sneaky. But once you see what they're talking about, I think you can get it. A0, B is negative. Yes, it is. Here's why. The number in front of I here is positive 4b. The number in front of I here is negative 5. So it introduces a negative here. See what's what? Here's what we got here. They said, hey, here's two different looks for the same number. That equal sign says they're the same number. So that means the real number parts are the same, and the numbers in front of I are the same. So you set these equal to each other and solve, set those equal to each other and solve. You can find out what A is.
We're going to put it back in the equation.
All it asks for is what's A and what's B.
Okay.
So A0, B is negative 5. All right, let's check this guy out. I would highly suggest you just think of the radical by itself for a while. Just solve this, simplify this, and then get back to the 4 minus. So square root of negative 50. The negative aspect translates to what? Do you know that? If you got a square root of a negative, you can just go ahead and pull out the negative and say, it's an I. Okay? Anytime. Square root of a negative, pull out the negative, I. Then we got square root of 50 to deal with. We know what to do there. It's 25 times 2. I see, that comes out. Right? So you could say it's 5i times the square root of 2. So now let's put it back over here. 4 minus 5i square root of 2. Now I'll put the I in. Hey, let's put the I in just to show we don't. It's 4. And there's our I right there. Is that okay? That's what I'm talking about. Uh-oh. Point. All right. I want you to think about what you would do here first. Don't say anything out loud. Think what you would do first. Don't say anything out loud. Just think what you do first. To deal with the square root of 0.04, what would you do? I know you take the I out. Don't make that your first. What would you do to deal with the square root of 0.04? Okay. Somebody, what would you do? What would you do? Put it in your calculator. Okay. How many of you thought I'll put it in my calculator? 3. All right. Yeah, that'll work. What else were you thinking? Somebody thinking of something else? I'm sorry? Move the decimal? Sounds like some shaky ground. You can't just go around moving decimals.
Couldn't you just take the square root of the 0.4?
Yes, ma'am.